Hey everybody, this is Thomas again from Get Down in 2. I just want to say hello. This is the second part of my audio series, which I started last week. This was all about lasering in on your putting stats. This week we're going to have a look at what you can do specifically to try and use some of this information. Anyway, just on an update on the golfing situation here, I still haven't managed to get out on the course, which is really depressing. It's just, the wet weather continues here, but hopefully, March is here, spring is here, so I can get onto the putting green soon. I'm actually planning to do some revisions to my guide, Get Down in 2, which you can see on the homepage. Maybe some more videos for the YouTube channel as well, if I get some time. So, as I say, last time we talked about really breaking down your putting stats and kind of recording what happens during a practice round or a real round, anything like that, as a way of trying to give you some useful pointers to see what you're so good at and what you're not so good at, so you can actually go and work on something to get better. Just for those who didn't catch last week's post, as I say, it was very much a recording exercise, playing a practice round, making notes of which kind of putts you did well on and which you didn't on. So if you missed the short ones consistently, if there was the longer putts that you really struggled to lag up to the hole, obviously check out last week's audio for the full description. Okay, so now we're faced with the question, what do we do with this information? Okay, last week, as I say, we carried out this little exercise, so hopefully you've identified which area you might be less confident in. Maybe you struggled on the short tap-ins, or maybe you consistently missed from 6 feet or 8 feet, that kind of that tricky medium range. They can sometimes be the worst ones, or maybe the longer ones, you just could not get a read. You were, leaving them way short or hitting them way past and, facing 3 putts, something like that, okay? What I want to do today, I'm going to keep it nice and simple. I promised you last week that we'd look at some drills so that we can practice what particularly you need to have a look at, okay? So we are going to keep it nice and simple. I've just got 2 putting drills to help you practice. There's reference to these on the website itself as well. I've got some more videos embedded in various posts. I'll tell you about those at the end of this this audio, okay? Now, just by way of introduction, the first drill, you're probably familiar with it if you've done any putting practice before, is called a circle drill. That's nice, simple, easy little drill, which is really good. We're going to use those for short and medium putts. And the second drill, which we're going to use for the longer putts, should you be one of those people that thinks, oh, I really need to reinforce my longer efforts. That one's called the dustbin lid drill, which I've also mentioned before on the website. Again, it's a really good way of getting your practice on the longer ones. So anyway, okay, so let's kick off with the circle drill. This is a drill I'm sure a lot of you have come across before. It's popular with golfers from beginners right up to the professionals. Phil Mickelson is often seen practicing this one on the practice green just before he starts his round, in major tournaments. It's pretty simple. The circle drill, although it's called the circle drill, it's kind of more like a square drill in the way that I teach it. What you're going to do, just to explain the mechanics of this before we get into the length of putts you want to practice with this, you're going to find a hole on the green, a fairly flat section of green, and you're going to put 4 balls around the hole as if they were the corners of a square, okay? I know it is called the circle drill, and you can put 6 around in a circle or 8 around in a circle, but just for now, just for starting off, because probably we're not confident with a certain length of putt, let's just do 4. So imagine the 4 squares of a circle around, and they're all going to be equidistant from the hole, okay? So it's all kind of the same range around that hole on the green, okay? So next you want to decide on the range of putt that you want to practice. Okay, so going back to last week, if it was the case that you were struggling with your short tap-in putts, then maybe place the 4 balls out about 2 to 3 feet from the hole. Okay, as I say, all of them equidistant, about 2 to 3 feet out from the hole, and that will give you 4 consistent, nice tap-in practice putts to do. If it was the medium range you were struggling with, then move those balls out to 6 to 10 feet from the hole. Again, make the 4 points. If you can imagine that square, make the 4 points around the hole. Make sure you've got a flat section of the green to work on as well. So you don't want to play too much around with the break when you're making these putts. It's all about repetition and reinforcement, really, this drill. So as I say, you've got the putts, you've got a similar distance to the hole. It's very simple. Your aim is to move around one after the other, 1, 2, 3, 4, sink all of them one after the other, okay? It's all about repetition, reinforcement of the success, okay? As with any putt, make sure, you set up well, you choose a nice target for your ball, hopefully you're on a flat area of the green, so it's a fairly straight putt. Make a nice positive stroke, no matter the length of putt facing you. That's really important, okay? That's it, really. I did do a YouTube instructional on the circle drill if you need a little bit more visualization. I know it's a little bit difficult in an audio. If you go into the sidebar on the main site, you'll see the Get Down Into YouTube channel icon. So just click on that and you'll find the circle drill just there. So have a look at that and you can see exactly what you need to do. Okay, so that's something you can practice for the short ones and the medium ones. Now for the longer ones, what I'd advocate here is to do a drill called the dustbin lid drill. Because for many golfers, the main problem when it comes to the longer ones is gauging the speed. I mean, the line, you're not expecting to sink too many from outside of 15 to 20 feet. I mean, maybe on a good day you're doing well, you're holding out. But usually the most important thing is to get the speed right. And some people really struggle with the visualization. They're hitting it too far past, they're leaving it way short. This is a great exercise. It uses the power of visualization to really help your body and your instincts really home in a lot better on getting it closer to the hole. And that's really the vital thing with the longer putts, getting it close enough so that your second putt should be, a 3-foot tap in maximum. So basically what this does is, this is a drill which kind of effectively plays a trick on the mind and makes that hole a lot bigger, because when you're standing 20 or 25 foot away from a hole, it looks so tiny, you're thinking, oh my God, no, how am I going to get it into there? It's such a tiny hole. And the mind kind of seems to struggle with that. The body thinks, oh my God, it's such a small target, it's so far away. And before you know it, you've made a hash of it. So what this drill does, and it's actually a little kind of mental exercise you could actually take out onto the course with you, is it's going to make that hole a lot bigger. So this is the idea where the dustbin lid idea comes in. Instead of putting from distance to a tiny hole, I want you to imagine that there's a dustbin-sized lid, literally, a circle around the hole. Okay, we're talking about a diameter of 3 feet around the hole. Now then, if you find it difficult to imagine that, you can even make yourself a little circle. There are various variations on this drill. You can probably take, you could take the flag out of the hole and place it behind it. That will, give you a kind of a sense of 3 feet past the hole. Or you could take 3 of your irons out of your bag and make, a little kind of 3-sided square, which again gives you that little area of around 3 feet around the hole. Anything really, just so you can imagine that the hole is bigger than it is, and you've got that little kind of let's call it a 3-foot zone that you're really trying to get that ball up and into. Okay, that's the most valuable thing. Getting those distances right, getting those putts lagged right up there in the distance. That's the main thing. Okay, getting yourself zoned in. So yeah, as I say, this is for people who struggle with the longer ones. It really depends how you want to tackle this one. You could start with a bunch of balls from 10 feet out, and then move to 20 feet out, and then to 30 feet out. It depends, I mean, it's all good practice. It's all really good practice. What I would say is try and mix up your distances. Don't just sit there, for 15 minutes with 20 balls, just putting one after the other, after the other, after the other, because, your body gets used to it and you get feedback from getting it wrong. I mean, this is all really good, and you do want to get used to lagging it up there, but try and mix it up as well, try and put from 10 feet and then another from 20 and then another from 15, just getting it within that kind of dustbin lid 3-foot zone. The idea, as I say, to leave yourself a tap in for the second, so you're looking to make par, at least in terms of putts anyway. If you take a look at my post, which is called Handy Putting Drills, which is available on the sidebar, the top 10 posts, you'll see descriptions, and I've embedded some videos which have other variations of the dustbin lid drill to practice. So a couple of minutes ago when I was talking about you could use a flag to form the back of the dustbin lid area, or some irons, I've got a couple of videos on there from some other really great coaches, and you can see how to do it. So So there it is, really. Your short ones and your medium ones, stick to the nice, simple circle drill, repetition, repetition, reinforcing success, okay? The longer ones, try and visualize that zone around the hole. It kind of, it helps it. Your mind feels like it's got a bigger area to get to, and it really, really helps. I do recommend using that for the longer ones. As a final piece of advice, guys, I'd always advocate spending 5 to 10 minutes on the putting green before every round, okay? Why do I always advocate this? I've gone on a lot about this in posts before. The thing is, if you don't practice on your green before you set out for your round, it's very likely, if you're not a very regular golf player, you're going to spend the first 7, 8, 9 holes feeling your way on the putting green. How fast is this green today? Or damn, what's my stroke? How can I remember how to do this? That's the last thing you want to do. You want to hit the first green already in touch with your putter, striking it well, and got some idea of the greens. Okay, so I always advocate getting 5 to 10 minutes on the putting green. You don't need much more. We're not professionals. I mean, some of you out there might be, but most of us, we're amateur golfers. We're recreational. We enjoy a round, but just spend 5 to 10 minutes on the putting green with a bunch of balls, and just spend some dedicated time. Okay, really sink in putts, getting some nice strokes. I'm not even bothered if you don't sink them. I just want you to get used to striking the ball well, hitting it through the line, and really getting some feedback on the speed of that green. Because remember, every golf course is different, and the grass on that particular green should be representative of the rest of the course. So if you find you're facing quite slow greens, at least you've got that 5 to 10 minutes to kind of get your hands educated, to get some feel of how the putts are rolling out on that particular day. I promise you that kind of work is going to pay off when you get out onto the round. You could get hot with your putter really quite soon, as opposed to, as I say, feeling your way for 10 minutes and thinking, oh God, what's wrong with my putting today? And before you know it, you're 3 or 4 shots below where you want to be. Okay, dudes, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this 2-part series, and I've been able to help you out with, really focusing in on your particular areas. I'm always a big fan of analysis, if you can stomach it. I mean, I know some people just go out and play for the sake of it, but if you do want to get better, just even if you keep a little note in your mind of, 3 or 4 times I missed a certain type of putt, a medium length putt or a longer putt. Try and identify what your weaknesses are, and as I say, take them onto the practice green and practice some drills. Try and get better. Really hope you've enjoyed this series. Please, I'd love to hear from you. So if you've got any feedback, please get in touch on the contact page, which is up in the menu bar at the top of the site, or on Twitter, which is in the sidebar. So enjoy the golf. I hope you're getting some golf, unlike me here in England, and I will be back soon next week. See you later. Bye.